So what is up, everyone? And today we're going to put some of these beads in our tires and see how they balance. Now, I've been running these for quite a while. The reason we're adding more is because I put too little in the beginning, and even with a too little amount, they balance my tires out perfectly. Today we need to add more. The tires have worn down, and I didn't put the correct amount in the beginning, so if you were to put the correct amount in the beginning, you wouldn't have this issue that I'm having now. And we're going to kind of go over what they are, what they look like, how they work, and what comes in the bag, and kind of how much they cost. All right, let's go. Alrighty, so these are the counteract balancing beads. This is how they come. This is 8 ounces. You can get, I think you can get 2, 4, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. My local place sold 8, so that's what I bought. I need 10 ounces total, so I just bought 2 8-packs. They're about $15 for 8 ounces, which is not too bad considering you reuse them over and over again per tire change. What you get in each bag, you get your 8 ounces of beads. What you need is you need something to measure these out. I'll show you what I use. Just a little scale is all you need. You get this valve. This is a new design. I have the old design, and it has... let me just grab it for you. I'll show you. So this is the valve stem they used to come with. Here's the new one. You can see the design is quite a bit different. The old one basically just had a longer stem at the bottom with a spring and a little cup here. And I guess this spun around and held it set. None of the little beads would get out. The problem with these were I keep them as spares just in case, but they have a slight leak to them, and they never really held air well for me. None of them did, so I just put the originals back in. I've been running the originals for 3 years with beads in the tire, and I've never had an issue airing down or airing up. So if you're worried that your stock, that your normal stock everyday valve stem can't have beads in it, they can. However, this design looks cooler. I might just get a few extra of these just because they look like a much better design. It's a lot more interesting. But okay, so beads, you get your valve stem, and then you get your cap. Some people don't like these caps. I run these caps because they kind of tell people, they kind of tell any tire shop that you go to that you have BBs in there. And this is actually a redesign as well. It looks like has a little tire logo in it. I'll get you a stock one, or get you an original one and show you what they're used for. Okay, so this one has been on my Jeep for literally 3 years. This is what they used to look like. They used to say CBB on them, and you can see they're actually really well made. I like them. They have a little gasket in there. Yeah, they're pretty nice. Pretty well little made caps. These ones look even cooler with a little tire logo in there. The reason I liked these is not because they're chrome or anything. I mean, they are nice and heavy, and I guess to kind of protect the stem a little bit. But they said CBB on them, so counteract balancing beads, and they got a red tag on them. So hopefully someone who pulls this off would kind of look at it and think red means stop. You know, there's something in there. I always tell anyone who touches my tires I have beads in them anyway. But yeah, so that's some cool differences I didn't know that they did. Anyway, that's all you get. So now let's get out to measuring it. We'll need a cup and a scale, and I'll show you the scale I use. Okay, so here we are. So you need a postage scale, one that actually is pretty accurate. You be able to tell ounces and grams. You want to be pretty accurate. The other thing you need is some sort of cup. I have a beaker, so that's what we're going to use. You want it to be somewhat tall. For one reason, you're going to be putting, that in there. The other reason, though, is that these things, believe it or not, because they're tempered glass and Teflon coated, they actually bounce a little bit. And so the taller the cup you have, the less chance you have of them actually bouncing out. Counteract's website, if you go there, they have a tire calculator, and they actually show you how much you should roughly add per tire. Before we get started here, we're going to put a jack underneath. We're going to start with the rear end. We're going to put a jack underneath the rear end, and we're going to let the air out of the tires, and I'll show you why. Because we're going to feed these to the valve stem, so we have to let the air out to get it in. But there's a trick that I learned from someone else. This is not my trick, but I learned it from someone else on how to get these in the tire more efficiently. So we need to let all the air out and get a jack under the tire. let's do this. Get this on here, get this on, and zero it out. Perfect, 0. Okay. I'm going to take the old stuff, basically just cut a corner off and pour in very slowly. And I'll see if I can show you how they bounce. See how they bounce? Now I'll show you how I get these in the tire. Alright, so here's the setup. Jack near the tire, valve stem on the bottom, tire deflated. Here we go. We get this lined up here, like that. Pour these guys in here. Alright. Then what we do, give it a little jack. You can hear him suck it in. Done.